I've gotten some recent questions about using voiceover in a screenplay. There's some understandable confusion from writers because a lot of screenwriting books advise against VO, while a number of movies have used it effectively. This has led to the impression that there's a hard and fast rule that aspiring screenwriters should never use voiceover. As usual, there's a little bit of truth, but the actuality is more nuanced than a simple do or don't. Voiceover is more effective when it's being used to set the tone instead of providing exposition. The advantage of voiceover is that it can feel personal. We're figuratively going inside a character's head, so it's almost a waste to use that device on exposition. And even when the VO discusses a character's mindset, I'd urge writers not to cop out and use it to explain something that would be more effective if dramatized. I'd be wary of the expositional voiceover that's mostly there to set the stage for the world. It's always strange to me when a movie opens with voiceover and then doesn't revisit it at all during the course of the story. If I open a script and the first thing I see is VO, I'm going to expect that particular character to remain as the narrator and that narration to be used throughout the script. Now, if it's an omniscient narrator, then my exposition alert will really go off. I'm sure people will point out professional examples of this, like War of the Worlds comes to mind, but be cautioned that it can read awkwardly. Films are about showing, not telling. Voiceover is directly antithetical to that. This is not to say it's always the wrong choice, but it does need to be used wisely. I can't imagine the Wonder Years without Daniel Stern's narration as the adult Kevin, for instance. That's a case of voiceover being indispensable because it reinforces the conceit of the show. It's also a useful tool when you're telling a story that spans a long stretch of time, such as Forrest Gump. It can be an excellent transitional tool, too. Voiceover has so many applications that it become an easy device to overuse. Demonstrate discipline. Don't use it just because you can, and give each instance of voiceover careful consideration. Make sure there's not a better way to achieve the same result. You got questions? Leave them for me in comments. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you back here next week.